Ladies and gentlemen, celebrating Hungarians, I greet you all with respect. We are gathered here today to honor and pay tribute to the heroes of the October Revolution of 1956. Today's celebration is special because we are joined by those who protected Hungary from the floods of the Danube just a month ago. Here with us are those who kept the massive floodwaters, which threatened to inundate and destroy within the riverbed. Imagine a 6-meter-high wall of water suddenly appearing out of nowhere. Not just a single tsunami-like wave, but a 400-kilometer-long water serpent. What the employees of the water authorities, disaster relief workers, soldiers, police officers, and volunteers accomplished was superhuman work. In other countries, the catastrophe claimed 24 lives and caused damage amounting to more than 10 billion euros. We did not lose a single life and managed to minimize the damage. Thank you for that. Thank you, thank you. Dear celebrants, when danger approaches, when our country is in trouble, we must stand together. That is the law. We are a proud, even stubborn people. We do not tolerate any superior meddling in our lives, but we obey the law of unity, for without unity we have neither security nor freedom. Without unity, natural forces would sweep us off our feet. Without unity, we would eventually be ruled by strangers, stripped of everything, and reduced to a line of indentured servants. Dear commemorators, the Revolution of 1956 was preceded by a series of fateful tragedies. In January 1956, an earthquake shook the country, and in March, icy floods overwhelmed the Danube region. Adults and children died, hundreds of families were left homeless, and thousands of people were displaced. It was a wake-up call, signaling that it was time to prepare for the coming great times, which demanded unity. And then, in October 1956, after the Danube, history also broke out of its riverbed. Just as a river that overflows its banks does not retreat in the afternoon or withdraw to its hideout at night, history follows its own course by its own laws. This is the time when heroes are born. Shoemakers, factory workers, and farmers become heroes. Accountants, kindergarten teachers, and students become martyrs. October 1956 etched the names of brave Hungarians in golden letters in the great history book of the nation. Dear commemorators, in the autumn of 1956, history overflowed its banks because Hungary could no longer endure the oppression of the Soviet Empire. The Hungarians are a freedom-loving and freedom-fighting people. They do not tolerate the rains well, and it is only a matter of time before they free themselves from the bridle. Hungarians have never been broken or tamed by an invader. Soviet imperial oppression bound and crippled us. It robbed Hungarian families, impoverished them, and deprived them of generations' worth of work. It sought to harness our nation's resources and labor for the empire, instead of safeguarding the national interest. After a devastating world war, a puppet government was imposed upon us, a puppet government with collaborating Hungarians in it. Their mission was to transfer Hungary's assets into foreign hands and turn the people's labor and life force to serve imperial interests. My friends, empires like to hide their brutal face. Empires are delicate. They prefer to be invited in, and they will do everything to find a Hungarian who will eventually invite them. This was exactly what the Soviet Union did. They wanted their comrades, the Hungarian communists, to provide the puppet government that would invite Soviet occupation troops to stay. And if more occupation troops were needed, they would ask for reinforcements. Our non-communist leaders were imprisoned on fabricated charges. They cornered the Hungarian people through intimidation, blackmail, and violence. Whatever displeased them was shut down. Whatever pleased them was seized. And when the Hungarians resisted, they brought their comrades to power through electoral fraud. That's how Moscow's cadres were finally imposed on the Hungarian people. The rest we know: attic clearances, internment camps, doorbell fears, shattered lives, and a lost Hungarian future. They thought they had everything under control when suddenly the writing appeared on the wall. A children's rhyme, threatening in its simplicity. Don't smile, Ilyich, it won't last forever. In 150 years, we haven't become Turks. Despite all the weapons of power in their hands, despite their overwhelming force, despite the global